I almost wanted to say welcome to the Disrupt Education podcast. It's just how I start in my head, but welcome to the live. Derrick
Funny.
Griffin, DG Sax,
Yeah,
Peter Hostrotzer, disrupteducation.ceo,
that's
CO,
right.
not CEO. It's
Yes.
wow, it's been a rough one, right? All right, but whatever. How's it going, Derrick? What's going on, man?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm doing great. Like I said, just staying busy, really booking out a lot of events even for 2025.
Oh,
2025 is
look out. Yeah.
starting to fill up. So if you've got a wedding, you've got a event that you're putting together, whether it's a gala event, whether it's a tech show, you name it. I perform for all different occasions. So I'm not
Yeah.
biased to one occasion. Let me know if you need me. I'm there.
Love it. 2025 already, man. Now I'm feeling old,
Yeah.
man. So don't do that. Slow down. But I mean,
27
the drive. It's the supply demand, man. So that's good to
out
hear.
there, man. Yeah,
So speaking of like the things that are out there,
yeah.
obviously, I'm a Gen Xer. There's probably a lot of Gen Xers out there, like, okay, in the planning phases of these. But there's also
Mm,
obviously millennials and even Gen Zers are out there planning a lot of these
yeah,
events,
yeah,
whether it be a wedding, corporate event, or whatever. So
yeah.
it used to be, basically you either got a band or a DJ, right? But there's
Right,
some
right,
different intricacies there. So, you've
right.
played solo. There's
Yes,
been in the band, and then there's
right.
also this kind of hybrid band
Yeah,
and or musician with a DJ going on there. Do you
right.
want to kind of explain all three of those for us?
Yeah, so it's funny if I had to equate each lane, right? So the band is like being fully on site at a corporate job 5 days a week.
Hmm.
And then you've got your DJ Sax combo, which feels more like remote work, I feel, where it's like, you got that flexibility to, be at home in your PJs and still like have the professional top on because your head is only
Uh,
showing in the frame. And then you've got the hybrid experience where there's a couple days you got to be in the office, but then you've got a couple days at home, and it's kind of a nice middle ground. And I think that's what the ensemble brings when you have, your drummer, your vocalist, your sax player, and a keyboard, about 4 or 5 instruments, and then you've got the DJ who's still the conductor, right? So the
mhm.
DJ is kind of reading the room. He's looking at like, okay, how are people responding to the transitions? If it's getting too dry, we need to get to the next song, or we need to switch up. We need to change it from a fast paced song to a slow song. We've been doing about 5 fast-paced songs, over the past 5-10 minutes. Let's kind of slow it down. Let's bring out the couples, let them have a moment to kind of chill, and then
Hmm.
and then we mix it up throughout the night. But we don't want to lose the crowd either, though. I think
Right.
that's the key component to remind people of when you have that hybrid experience. You never want to lose that energy that you started with, and I think that's what's really nice about that. Shout out to the DJ firm. They do a really great job of making sure that they keep the party going, right?
Hmm.
If it's a wedding, if it's a cocktail hour, a corporate event, they want to make sure that the energy is always high. I
Yeah.
think with a band, it's a little bit more structured, right?
Hmm.
Like being in the office 5 days a week. You know your schedule. You know what time you got to be there. You know where your desk is. You're not taking someone else's seat. You've got your name tag posted right there in your cubicle, wherever you sit. Right, like it's very like, okay, stick to the script. Like look at what the notes on the page are saying. Make sure you're reading the time signature, making sure you're like understanding where you got to be.
Hmm.
And then like the repetitions of it too, like being in the practice room. I mean, I remember in high school, 0 hour class was before even my first period class that I would have for the day.
Hmm.
I'd come in every morning, Monday through Friday, rehearsing for that hour. But just getting those reps up, it made my skill set so much higher in terms of like capability and like being able to feel comfortable improving. So ultimately, I feel like the band element and that band space that I was in really prepared me for like the DJ sax
Hmm.
column as well, because that I would say is probably the most free flowing space that I'm in, and I personally love it at this point because I was always the kid that wanted to improv. I wanted to take the solo. Everyone else around me was like hesitant. They're like, I don't know about this. I don't want to mess up. I was ready to like make the mistakes and like just enjoy the process of like playing new music. So it was something I thrived off of.
when you're talking about music lists, like usually a
Yeah,
band will have a playlist, right, ready to go. Sometimes
that's true.
they'll take some, requests or whatever. How does
Sure.
that work with the DJ? Is like if you have or maybe even a couple of instruments, what does that look like? Is there a playlist or do you just kind of flow with it? How does that work?
Yeah, so it's a good question. I feel like I've been playing music now for 18 years, and
Mhm.
so you have to develop an ear for different genres and be open to developing that ear. I think sometimes as a creator, we sometimes can pigeonhole ourselves into just knowing one thing or knowing one way of how to do things. I
Mhm.
remember even this weekend, like I was looking at a mouthpiece that I haven't been playing on probably in over a year. Been sitting on it for God knows how long, and so just like trying to now experiment with it and like realize like, wow, this can now take my sound to the next level.
Mhm.
And so I say all that to say, like, experiment with new music, because that's ultimately how I got to the point where if someone does provide a song request, I feel confident that I can play it. Even if I've never played the song, I can hear it and be like, okay, I know where I need to be, or I know what could fit best with this to complement it, and me being a saxophone player, I've either been a complimentary figure to a song or the main role. I could be the vocalist,
Mhm.
I can play what the vocalist is saying. And then that's the other thing, being a DJ now, there's so many different softwares that they have out now. They've got Serato stems, which essentially takes out the vocals so that if I am a saxophone player playing the vocals, it's not bleeding into what the song is saying. You can
Mhm.
actually be the vocals.
Hmm.
So it's just another way of being able to create in the moment.
Mhm.
And it's just inspiring now. Like there's so many different things you can do now with music. It's crazy.
What's the
Yeah.
most popular of all those right now? Is it the DJ with
Yeah.
you out there? Is it a band? What's trending right now?
I gotta say the thing I'm learning is that saxophone is not even just becoming this thing where people like to hear it. It's
Mhm.
starting to become more of an aesthetic. Like
Mm.
people like
Mhm.
that it's aesthetically pleasing. It's, oh man, it's the sexy sax man. It's the,
Right.
oh my goodness, he's serenading the crowd.
Mhm.
He knows how to move while playing. He doesn't have to like be reading notes. I get that a
Yeah.
lot on my YouTube clips. People will comment like, hey, do you know the notes to the song, or can you
Mhm.
share the notes? And a lot of times, like, I would actually have to sit down and like really like methodically like think of, okay, what notes am I actually playing? Like I know the notes, I can read music, but it's almost like the reverse side to it, where like
Mhm.
when I was in a band, like that's what we did really focus on. We focused on the rhetoric, like the written like
Yeah.
notes and the actual like lines, quarter notes, eight notes, how fast you need to be playing this line. And what I tell a lot of people, I tell them, hey, like I've developed the ear now, and if you
Mhm.
can develop that ear, if you can sing it, you can play it. That was the one thing that all of my instructors told me. If you can sing it, you can play it, no matter how quick a song can be. Because a fast song, what you could then do is slow it down. You can
Right.
slow a fast song down,
Mhm.
break it up into pieces, and then put it all together. And I think sometimes as creators, like that's our own fault. Like we try to learn it all at once and be like, man, we got this, we can do it. But sometimes you got to break it up. And I think that's what's also made this element of DJ and sax, the
Mhm.
most popular and like go to type combo in any type of, event space. So if you're putting together an event, you're looking to create, a unique experience where, the DJ can't necessarily engage with the crowd all the time. You can get a saxophone player like myself who can move with the crowd, can dance, and also keep people engaged in a very unique way. So that's where I come in and play to my strengths.
And you know what? Yeah, that interaction is huge. It is,
Yeah,
I don't think it's a trend. I think it's here to stay. I mean, I'll go back to Lisa Simpson, man. Let's go, right? I go back all the way to a bunch of other musicians, but
yeah,
yeah, there is just something about the saxophone. So if you are building
yeah,
an event, wedding or whatever, just
yeah.
go to DG Sax, look it up.
That's right.
You'll see how people interact. It's very, very cool. So I
Yeah,
appreciate it, man. Thanks for filling us in on the different lanes.
yeah,
And
man.
you get the solo every time, man. So let's make it
That's
happen,
right.
right?
Let's do it, man. I'm excited every time. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us on live. If you haven't yet, go to dgsax.com. That's Derrick Griffin. I'm Peter Ostrasser, disrupteducation.co. We'll talk to you next time on the live. Thanks for hanging out.